by Riverside.
Welcome to another episode of the UP Unconventional Playbook. Like and subscribe. Let's just get to it. Another pathetic performance by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Epic letdown, losing 2 at home in front of a raucous crowd. First, let me start with the crowd. Let me start with the Minnesota Timberwolves fans. You guys brought it tonight. You tried to hang on. You tried to give them energy. You tried to spur them on. You guys were ready. You were ready for this series. You were ready on Friday night. You were ready for tonight. And our fellas just couldn't respond. You know, I'm starting to think that the defensive effort that they gave in Denver, I think that probably was an anomaly, to be honest with you. I think part of it was Denver underestimating the Timberwolves and not bringing the focus that they should have brought in those games at home. And I guarantee you when we go to Denver, their focus will be there. They won't make that mistake again. And the reason why I think it was a fluke, the defensive effort that we gave up there, is because we can't replicate it at home. The sign of a team, when you know the personality of your team, is not game 3. Like I said before, that's human nature. You had a letdown. You're feeling good about yourselves. But when your back is up against the wall and you know you need this game because you don't want to go back to Denver tied 2-2, you should be able to hang your hat on whatever was consistent for you throughout the year. The Minnesota Timberwolves were the number 1 defensive team pretty much all year long. What good is that when you can't replicate it when you need it in the playoffs? What good is it? What good is the defensive player of the year when you can't guard the other team's best player and you're just barbecue chicken the whole game? And I know Jokic is good, arguably one of the best players in the world. But can't you slow him down? Can't you slow him down? Rudy Gobert is a sieve guarding the Joker. He's a sieve. Every time he touches the ball, something good happens. You're the defensive player of the year, and you can't slow him down? I'll go back to the Timberwolves. The refereeing the last couple of games, but especially this one, is pathetic. The NBA needs to investigate it. It is absolutely pathetic. The one thing that you want as a coach is to be able to help your players adjust to the game. So there has to be some level of consistency, and there is no level of consistency from the referees at all. It's a pathetic show. They should be ashamed of themselves the way they ref those games. And it had nothing to do with the Timberwolves losing, because that's just a lack of effort from the Timberwolves. I'm putting the loss on the Wolves. You can't win one of these games at home. And these teams, when they let you down and they finally get on a win streak later on down the line, or they do something good, the first thing they say, well, those of you didn't believe in us. Nobody believed in us except for the people in this locker room. People jumped off the bandwagon. Well, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? You perform in Denver. You come home in front of your raucous crowd. You lose by 30 on Friday night, and you come back and you get down by double digits early in the game, and the only one that shows any sort of intestinal fortitude is Anthony Edwards. Everybody else flat out just disappeared the first half. It looked like the guy was out there playing by himself. In the playoffs, a game where you have to have, or you're going back to Denver 2-0. Nobody's jumping off the bandwagon, but on the UP unconventional playbook, we're going to keep it real. And I know some people, go ahead, put it in the comments. I don't care, but I'm going to keep it real here. Because the great fans of the state of Minnesota should get tired of this garbage from our teams. The epic letdowns. It's just unbelievable. You can set your watch by it. Go up 2-0, and the worst thing that could possibly happen, you drop 2 at home, and now you got to go back up there. You give them home court advantage again, and now you got to go back up there and win again. Just dismantled all of your work, erased all of your work. And did you see the end of the first half? Did you see the end? We take a shot and miss. They get out in transition and score. We try to inbound the ball fast, get it stolen at half court. Jamal Murray chucks up a ball from half court and it goes in. Epic. Epic. That could only happen tonight. Somebody better get some heart. Somebody better find out something. I don't know what it is, but right now they can hand the ball to Jokic and he's going to score 80% of the time. Because he's too strong for Cat. And he's just going through Rudy Gobert like it's just wet paper. I mean, come on, Wolves. Come on. And the one thing that I'm getting tired of, I mentioned it in previous shows on the UP. Can we stop begging and crying for fouls? Every time we go in for a layup is, hey. Going for this layup is, hey. Wanting the refs to bail you out, go strong, score the basket, get back on defense and play. Stop complaining to the referees. Not every time you go to the basket are you getting fouled. Epic letdown. Epic. Again, we're keeping it real here. And I just feel like the Timberwolves may not win another game in this series. They may not win another game. Karl Anthony Towns, come on, man, you got to go. Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year, come on. I told you before the series started this weekend, all of the unconventional playbook subscribers. What did I say? The Denver Nuggets can win these 2 games if the Minnesota Timberwolves heads are not right. And now it's Sunday night, and we're heading back to Denver, tied 2-2. Every time we tried to make a run, there was an answer by Denver. Timberwolves got to look at themselves in the mirror. How do you go from being the number 1 defensive team in the league all year, putting on a show where the national media gives you some love? No one's not believing in you. People believe, because that's the line that these teams try to say. Nobody believed in us. After game 2, the media believed in you. And then what happened? You didn't show up the next 2 games. And if someone has a crossword to say about you, you're going to be upset. Well, save all that vim and voim for the games. Don't clap back at the media. Don't clap back at analysts. Don't say we don't believe. Don't say we jumped off the bandwagon. Save all that energy and all that zest for the games. For the Joker. For Jamal Murray. Not the media. You got to look at yourselves in the mirror, Timberwolves. Epic letdown at home. You couldn't split one of these 2 games? Give the fans something to cheer about? Man, did they let the Denver Nuggets off the hook in this series. They may not win another game. Get upset with me. But they may not win another game. They may not win another game this series. They can't stop anybody when they need to. And they'll have all that energy for the so-called talking heads or the national media. They'll be big, bad, and tough at the press conferences behind the microphones and claim people are jumping off the bandwagon when all their focus and all their energy should be on the Denver Nuggets. You should be ashamed. Pathetic weekend for the Minnesota Timberwolves. This has been Unconventional Playbook.
Powered by Riverside.